Welcome back, hunters. I am the SurvivalVis, and we return to Monster Hunter World, this time to take you on a little showcase and a guide of sorts towards one of the monsters that I found a little more challenging when I first encountered it through World. So, with Runa right here, we're going to go into the blacksmith, and I'm going to show you the weapon our kind of goal is going to be trying to get for today. Now, this monster is encountered very late in story-wise. It has a, I'd say, minor role. But what we want is, because we did the Light Bowgun showcase episode, I was thinking about doing one of the Heavy Bowguns. As you can see as I scroll down a little bit, there's a lot of them that I'm missing from my collection of sorts. And the one we're going to focus on today is Teostra's cannon right here, or Teostra's artillery and Teostra's flames. Now, to get this one, I mainly want it just because of the unique looks, because let's face it, you can only do so much when your bowgun... let me bring that up again quickly. Like, where's, no, that's actually a unique one. That's a unique one. It can only do so much for showcasing when your bowgun is literally just dressed up to look a little different with a dress on. So, the Teostra's Flames is a unique heavy bowgun for its looks. It's basically literally a hand cannon, or a cannon you're carrying around. And I like it because of its uniqueness, and it's one of Teostra's more signature weapons from previous installments. So, to get towards that, it's a 4-step process, and the first one is getting the Black Steel Cannon. A pretty easy to get. All the materials here are fairly easy to get once you get into high rank, the Coral Highlands. So, we'll just make that up real fast. Skip that little bit there. You guys have seen that tons of times. And, we won't equip it quite yet. Now we want to go to upgrade, and let me go to the very back end here. There it is. So the next step up is just a fire cell stone, some fuchsium ore, wyvern gem, all stuff, again, fairly easy to pick up. So we'll do that. We got that upgrade to the next step. And now, to get Teostra's Flames, I actually have everything I need right here. So you will have to hunt it once, maybe a couple times. I think the hardest part will be getting the carapaces. The Claw Pluses, I think, are something that are fairly easy to get. I'd assume so, given I got 57 of them. But I think the carapaces, you may need a couple hunts just to get the 5 they need. And the powder comes pretty easy. So, we'll upgrade that. There's the cannon right there. Yeah, we'll equip that right now. And this is where we'll have to go after Teostra, because we want to try to get that gem for the final upgrade. And I don't know, I'll check, see my investigations, if I have one, go after just a regular Teostra, not a tempered. And I'll give you a little bit of tips for going up against that. But for right now, we'll take a little look at the Heavy Bowgun itself. Very sleek, simple design, but it's still very intricate and ornate with the gold trimming and all the stuff to it there. And one of the nice things is actually, let me go into customizing it, because I love that feature they've kept with the Heavy Bowguns throughout all generations of Monster Hunter, is that they can get a little bit of different look with a shield on them. So, I'll equip the shield, and I just usually go for a mix like that. So it looks like, actually, you have a cannon on a wheel right there. So I really like the look of that. It's one of the more unique heavy bowguns. I think it'll do you pretty good if you pick it up. Let me just give you a little bit more info on her. So, we do have normal, slow, fast, so number of different ammos, and pretty good amounts for them. Not the highest amounts, but still gives you a very high range of very damaging shots. Normal is 1 to 3, Pierce is 1 to 3, only has the spread ammo 1, but spread is one of the ammos I'm least inclined to. Where it really packs its punch is in all 3 sticky ammos and all 3 cluster bomb ammos. Something that's actually pretty interesting too is that you could load up some poison shots, poison 1 and poison 2, so you can get a little bit of poison damage through there. It also does come with flaming and slicing ammo. But let's say you're trying to work up to getting this bowgun, so you don't actually have that one you can use. So we'll just go pay a visit back to our 2nd Fleet Master Smithy here, and go back into the Heavy Bowgun tree. Now, what kind of Heavy Bowgun would you like? Normally, Heavy Bowguns you focus more on the raw damage, but I would say, well, I don't actually have it myself, probably looking at the Water Cannon as your best bet, or looking for something that has some water shot to it. If we go up to the Water Cannon again, you can see it has 7 it can load up. So that's actually a fairly high amount for an elemental shot, for capacity-wise. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have. I'm not sure we really want to go for that one. Yeah, my best bet would probably say to try to get something along the water cannon line and definitely have a shield equipped. And I'll show you which armor set you should also want to try to get as well, because Teostra is one of the monsters which is a little infamous in the game because of something it kind of... Well, it does that few other monsters really do. Actually, let me see. You know what? I'll see how far along the tree I can go with this. Just give me a moment and we'll just upgrade each steps. That is one of the nice things about World, is that it's felt very easy to upgrade any of the weapons you get pretty easily. Iron ore 2. I know, just so we close the window, we'll do that. And to the water element. So, basically, just a few Geratidus to start with. That'll get you into this line. Even just one Geratidus, I think, will be enough to get you into it. Okay, and we might need a few more to go through along there. But then, it is basically just a lot of Geratidus pieces. And even then, the last one, you probably won't get Water Cannon 3 because you need the Elder Dragon Blood. So you'll probably be around Water Cannon 2. Or you might have something else like, say, the Chrome Assault or something else that's a little further down the line. Like, maybe I'll even use... I'm trying to see, is there... Actually, I might use... No, wait, that's Elder Dragon Bone. Shoot. I was looking for a good Heavy Bowgun that doesn't really need any Elder Dragon pieces for it. I might even have to do... Oh. Okay, well, if that's the case, maybe what we'll do is make another bowgun. Because, yeah, I don't have the Geratidus fins for that, and there's a few things I'm missing along there. Maybe what we'll do is roll back the materials and just keep going along this line. And we'll get to the point where you kind of run out of stuff you can go through with it. So far right now it's still low rank. That's probably your step between low to high rank for the upgrade. That one you should be able to get old materials for before you're ready to go after Teostra. And this will probably be the last step you sort of get, because let's look at the last upgrade. Elder Dragon Blood and Nergigante pieces. So yeah, this will probably be your last little step before you'll get towards being able to take down Teostra as an or other Elder Dragons. So as always, we'll equip a shield. I like the recoil suppressor, just so that way it's a little easier. And I usually like getting the reload assist because it really speeds up a number of your shot loads. So we'll also do a little in-depth preview of this one, because it's another one from my collection. So let me just pull up the equipment info here for you guys. So the Chrome Assault 1 loads normal 1 to 3, pierces 1 to 3, only the 1 spread ammo, but it does offer a few a few stickies and a cluster. It also gives you the poison damage, and it offers slicing ammo. That's going to be something pretty good, because we'll probably use that. Now that we've got our weapon, I'm going to tell you guys probably the best armor to use for going up against Teostra. And it's, for some people, depending on what your weapon is, it might be a little harder than others, but I would honestly have to say your best bet is going to be going after the bomber set itself, the Basilgius, or Basilgius, or however you want to pronounce it, really. The reason why I have to recommend him is because of the earplugs. Ooh, let's pull that back. I mean, it looks very good as well, with all the kind of scaling pattern that Basil has. Honestly, either one will work for whatever your preference is, but you definitely want those earplugs. Teostra has an annoying habit of its roar animation is much shorter than the lock you actually get stuck in with no earplugs. So when you kind of have a monster roar, you'll bend over and like, ah, loud noises, but the loud noises stop well before you actually get control of your player again, or you get control of your hunter again. And because of that, Teostra gets a few hits right in without any issues. So I think we'll probably equip this one with the earplugs, critical draw. It does have the guard, which is nice, but I won't run with any decorations just to show you guys, say, complete base-wise of using the Basil stuff. Oh, we just go into the item box. Let me just find all the Basil pieces. There, all should be pretty quick and easy to load up and get on. Teostra is still one of my not enjoyed monsters I really go after, and I'm going to keep the layered helmet, or layered armor as my hat, because I like that as my little trademark of sorts. And we'll make sure there's nothing set in decorations, just so that way we can say we're going at with completely nothing. And if you can't get the basil stuff, or you don't want to farm him that early, my recommendation is definitely going to be to get something with a weapon that can guard. Because if you block, you can block monster roars, and it'll be very helpful against Teostra. Now that we're all outfitted there, let's buy what ammo we can. I think we basically have everything. Yeah, it looks like our loadout is pretty much there. This was my loadout for the Great Bowgun, so let me just quickly drop some stuff off that we can't use. Those. And you know what? No, let's see. Let's just sort. Yeah, we'll do that for now. Okay, what else can we bring? We can bring the clusters. Sorry about my voice there. And we have slicing, right? Yeah, there we go. Now, we're also going to try to cut off the tail, too. So, things that we don't need per se. The dung pods, I don't think are going to be something we'll really run into. The demon drug, we're going to basically try to avoid using anything that's really kind of buffs and unnecessary things you don't have to use if you just want to try going in with what you've got as base. So all we really need are slash berries. So we'll definitely take out as many of those as we can. There they are. Pretty easy collectible. And with that and Runa all suited up, I think all we really have to do is go eat and then we'll head on out. Let me just see if we can nag an investigation.
You look well.
Or snag one. Quest rank. So, we don't want the 9 stars. I think, yeah, the 8 stars were if we have. Oh, here we go. 50 minutes. Perked one right there. My advice, look for ones that have generally the silver and the gold rewards. The copper are kind of meh for most investigations. Like that one, yeah, 2 copper isn't really worth it. Ooh, actually that one right there is a perfect one. And Wildspire Waste, I believe, is the first place you'll really encounter Teostra, so we'll probably do that one there. Head on our way up. And we'll just take a little run up the stairs here. I just want to look at our stats again. Yeah, Basal Protection 3, that's very good, because that's, the Gut skill is good. It has been tweaked in that you have to have a health threshold beforehand. So it's not exactly the best, but it's better than nothing. We only have Earplugs 4, but you'll probably see a good difference with it. Critical Draw we aren't really going to use. And I don't think the Guard we're going to... Well, no, the Guard we'll probably see in use because of the shield. Bombardier we'll probably see because of some of the ammo types we have loaded. So I usually just get the Chef's Choice Platter because the health and stamina are perfect things to go for. And actually, I should see about getting us a charm. Or do you guys... No, we will look at getting a charm on there. My advice would probably be, even if you can get the first level of the earplug charm, I think I have it. Demolition, oh, maybe I don't. Okay, well then let's go see if we can make that earplug charm. Just because that's a nice one if you need to build up the earplug skill. You don't want to use up some of your other 3-slot decoration slots later on. I have to recommend the earplugs as being one of the best features you can pick up for going after Teostra. So, let's go down here. This might be where we'll find it more towards the bottom. And we are looking for earplugs. There it is. Yeah, so if you go after a few Diablos, you should be fine with it. And I think that'll bring you up to level 3 once it's fully upgraded, but for the purposes of this hunt, where we're just trying to get a good loadout for trying to go after a Teostra as a gunner, that should be just fine. And I'm not actually going to take any... Oh, there we go. I must have pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that little delay. But we're not going to take any mantles, just to show you that you can do it, you just have to be a little up and up about what's going on. And we did eat, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's finally talk to the handler. And one of the things I do have to commend Monster Hunter World and Capcom for is that there are DLC options like cosmetic costumes and things for the handler, but they're not advertised. They're hidden on Monster Hunter World's Steam page in the DLC section. Finally, a company that gives you the options, but doesn't try to cram it down your throats. It's just there if you'd like it. So, we're going to post a new quest, take on an investigation, and there's our Teostra. It doesn't matter if there's really anybody or not, and we're going to go to the central camp, because where Teostra starts off is going to be probably Area 8. So, let that save, and we're all set to go out and try taking down Teostra. Now, I do admit, my heavy bowgun skills are probably going to be pretty poor, because if I show you guys my guild card for just a moment. Okay, let that load up a little bit, just that way it's easier to go through everything. Surprised how long it takes. Yeah, as you can see, mostly a lot of stuff was done with the bow, but light bowgun I was building up on, and heavy bowgun got a little bit in. I admit I'm surprised just how many quests I've done using the bows. But I'm probably going to be shifting away from bows more to light bowguns. Jeez, I'm surprised. There we go, finally loaded up. Yeah, I'm surprised how long it took to load up. I guess because I have the high texture pack on, and maybe the computer can't handle it as well as I'd like, but it still does it okay. Yeah, so anyway, you can see I'm mostly a gunner at heart. There's the quest finally loaded. And let's head on out on it. So heavy bowgun I don't have great experience with, or in-depth experience with, but I should still be able to transfer some of our gunner knowledge over. So the first time you encounter Teostra, there's going to be one thing you'll encounter, as melee will probably notice a difference compared to gunners, because melee are going to feel a bit of a health debuff constantly against it. Gunners, you're not going to really run into that unless you hug super close. It is a monster, though, you will actually want to hug a bit closer. But anyway, we're just going to get a few things to help us along. My advice, always pick up something that can be a flincher for your slinger. It's a very helpful tool just to keep track of and use. And actually, it looks like from our scout fly, Teostra must be down in the underground area. And we are using the Wyvern Heart. That might be a little risky for your first Teostra. Generally, you want attacks that won't leave you vulnerable for very long, because Teostra is a faster monster to go... Oh, excuse me. Faster monster to go after. As you can see, he's wandering away over there. So this actually might not be a bad time to just kind of use the Wyvern's fire. Or we may even actually start with some slicing. As you can see, almost no reload from it, really. And there's the roar, so we were able to dodge that okay. And just a little bit of chip damage. That's one of the nice things about... Right, I forget that the cluster bombs have that mortar system to them. I actually don't like using the cluster bombs because, well, the mortar system is a lot weirder than I've ever seen. Oh, I guess we'll grab another track since we were just sliding down there. Okay, and we'll go back to using normal 3. Or, you know what, we'll even try loading up the Wyvern's Heart, see if we can get some nice early hits on the head with it. But yeah, the slow rolls and everything with the heavy bowgun are why I just disliked it a bit. Uh-oh. Ooh. Yeah, that was not good. Really gotta watch out for all the blast powder that puts into the air. And you can kind of see on the health bar in the top left there, those little arrows are the threshold of sorts for when that guts ability kind of kicks in. And Teostra's tail definitely gets some good distance, because even if the tail swipe doesn't get you, the blast powder can. And we'll use that. Use your environment if you can to help you out. There's Runa, thankfully with a bit of health for us. And Teostra, if you can line it up, Tears are going to be your best friend on him, because you'll get a lot of stuff right down his main body if he lines up for you. Breakable parts include the wings and his horns, but the thing about the horns is they will only break... Oh, another roar we were able to negate there. definitely got to be careful when he does that. Definitely be on the lookout for... Okay, that was close. I thought what he might have done is he does have a move. Uh-oh. Watch your recoil on the heavy shots, because that can get you into trouble. Try to dodge back. Yeah, the heavy recoil, if you are stuck in the animation, the shield will not be that helpful for you. So you gotta avoid that if you can, or watch for good openings. As you can see, that's one of his most devastating attacks. So, melee, you probably don't have to worry about it as much as gunners do. Able to take that hit, okay. Get a few more sticky shots in. I've been playing Generations Ultimate, so they've called them Crag shots over there. We go. Able to stun him rather easily. We'll get the poison going. Yep, he's already poisoned. Now with that, let's try to get some shots on that tail. Because if you're ever looking for gems, always remember to try to get the tail. Let's see if we can load up a few shots quickly here. And just got it finished in time. Yeah, easy. There he goes. He's actually a very mobile monster compared to what you might be used to with how he kind of circles around you like that. Uh-oh. And this is a supernova. Yeah, you can see we just survived that because of the Guts skill. We're going to quickly do that, get our health back. Definitely get out of range if you see him lining up for that, because that is going to get you completely killed, one-shotted. Even with your guard for your bowgun. Even with your guard for other weapons, I think you're going to basically get bypassed from it. I think that's going to be him running off for... yeah. So he's going to fly off here. I showed you what not to stand in and what to try getting out of, so that's a good lesson for you guys. We'll load up the 2 cluster bombs we still have, get the stickies in order. I will admit, I am surprised how easily we were able to knock him out the first time. So we may be able to actually get more. It's just about knowing how long it takes your recoil to kind of wear down, and when his openings are. When he gets super mad, though, if you're a melee user, you'll actually get, I'm pretty sure you'll get a health kind of drain for being too close to him. Gunners, again, you probably won't encounter that. What you will more than likely encounter, though, is that you'll only be able to really get shots in at his head. Everywhere else kind of gets like a heat armor in a way, so your shots seem to like melt almost. They don't do the damage you'd want them to. And there's something there. I think it's just... Ooh, I was hoping to get... yeah, there we go. Just get a little flinch on them. And, oh, it's a Gajalaka, so that's very good. So if we can pull Teostra over here... yeah, there we go, he got hit. So while he's down, we'll see if we can just rack up the damage with the Gajalaka helping us. They are definitely one of the tribes you want to try aiming for unlocking if you can, because out of all the little... I'm trying to remember what they're kind of called exactly. Oh, that was his head again. Yeah, as you can see, he just turns around very quickly. See if we can't get more poison into him. Able to take that thanks to our guard. Very useful, especially with how little damage we take thanks to our skills. You can basically become a wall of a gunner if you have the guard skills put in place on a heavy bowgun. Cool, and that's his tail opened up right there. But I don't have the slicing ammo loaded in. quickly go into scope, so that turns us right around if we were in range. And looks like Rune is keeping them pretty busy, so... Uh-oh. Of course, as soon as I say that, he comes over to say, no, she's not. Get some more poison in. This poison will be one of your best friends dealing with the Elder Dragons. They all have special sort of effects each one uses. As you can see, because of that 0 damage we were getting there, that's kind of a sign of where his heat armor is in place right now. So that really just leaves his head as being his vulnerable spot. And it's kind of like, say you're dealing with a flamethrower, you don't want to be right in front of where the flames come out. So that's why Teostra is a bit trickier. Brace for impact. There's the first. Nope, not going to get hit by a second. Let's get our way up there. Yeah, we're not getting any damage in there. We're just out of range of the flames, but still close enough we can kind of see them coming off of him. There's his blast circle. Definitely glad we got the guard to stop that, because that's a pretty heavy-hitting one. The basal armor also has a good fire resist. Ooh, nice. That actually staggered him, so he fell down. Now I can lay into some nice slicing shots onto the tail. I will try to get it off. Because if possible, I'd like to get the tail off with just the 30 slicing ammo you get as a kind of given. As a gunner, that's always been one of the hardest things to do, is get the tails off. You're not really meant to, or you weren't meant to. I think Rune actually helped us out there for trying to get some damage in on that tail. Oop, managed to spot that and roll out of the way. There we go. Okay, so he's heading off to another area again. Maybe I'll just try to get us some more ammo quick for a slinger. And actually, before I do, let me be sure to properly fully reload before we engage again. That's one thing, if you can, a good gunner, well, I try to say a good gunner, I still am showing some rust to my skills, always tries to keep all their shots ready to go with World System. Gen Ultimate, again, I've been playing that a bit more, you only can load in the certain shots unless you have a special hunter art. But either way, always try to keep yourself ready to go and take full advantage of the times between engagements with the monsters. As you see, very glad that we got the scope, or that we went into, okay, I think we just got to the edges of that supernova. But definitely try your best to stay clear of it. And don't forget your little melee bash. It can be helpful if you want to save shots. Looks like that's the end of our slicing. We didn't quite get the tail off, but we also did miss a few shots with it. Try to get a few shots into that head. Oh, we got knocked down a bit. And let me just quickly... One of the nice things is with the guard is you can just kind of block the hits if you're a little slower to get your crafting finished. Oh. Quickly sheathe that away, get some distance. There we go. Like I say, the slinger can be a nice little tool to save your skin in those little areas like that. Even just giving you that little brief moment to catch your breath and stagger a monster can be huge. Oh, and that's his AoE, sort of ring around him. Yeah, he's mad again, so we'll probably expect another supernova sooner or later. Tail's really being stubborn though, isn't it? Uh-oh. Yeah, always be careful of that one. It has a little bit more of a wind-up time for it, so you should be able to spot or just roll from where you were. Get out of the way of it. Didn't quite avoid that one. That was a close one. Oh. I think we're out of range. Yeah, we just got out of range again. It's a pretty tight, or well, a rather contained damage or burst like that. It's usually heavily coordinated, so you should have an okay time once you pick up the habits of what it'll do, of how to be able to get out of range of its supernova. Oh, that's the wings broken. We were actually aiming for the tail. Yeah, out of range. So that was kind of a worse, useless shot there. Okay, and I think we must have used up all of our slicing, or our slash berries for it. So it looks like he's actually heading down into... I don't think he's going to his nest to sleep yet. Looks like he's actually going to where Raytheon goes to nap. I've actually never fought Teostra for long enough quite like this to see them actually come down into this area before. And don't be afraid, pick up some herbs or anything else you might need along the way. Your first Elder Dragons might throw you for a loop because they are a step up from most other monsters. Yes, there he is, just hanging around. I'm sure he'll... Yeah, there he is. He knows we're here immediately. It can be a tricky one to pin down on your own. If you do have troubles with trying to keep him a little more contained, don't forget to bring things like flash grenades, or flash bombs, whatever they're called. I kind of forget because I don't use them that often. Yes, flamethrower. Ooh. That was a bit of a harder hit than I wanted to take. But it does give us a nice shooting range for that tail. Really not coming off. Oh, oh, there's Runa with the save. Thank you very much. I have to admit, the Palicos, they're good with their gadgets, but they're not very good at helping you out in really tight jams or situations. Like, if you get stunned or dazed, they don't really rush over to try to help you out of those. So that's the last slicing. Let's see if it worked. I'm afraid not. We didn't quite get that tail off. Use the scope for the quick turn, because that'll help you with your defense and getting that guard in place. Back again. Yeah, I didn't like that explosive going off in his face. We still got a few more. So we can just stick... Yeah, we were able to get that one on the side of his head there. We'll probably be able to break the horns with the damage we're doing up to his face there. Let's try to roll, get this blast plate off of us. Shots right down the middle there. Yeah, and he'll be charging up for another hyper or supernova in a little bit. Oh. We weren't quite facing the right way for that one. Actually, maybe we will take a little detour down here for the moment. Just to get a quick potion drink in. And he is going to follow us, but that lets us also get right out of dodge before he can get us to. Whew. Nope, walked right into the fire there, but thankfully because of Basil's armor, we don't have to worry about trying to avoid the fire blight. Actually, no, his horns aren't broken. I thought they might have been, just from the angle that it was. Oh, he's really smacking in. Oh, yeah. Oh, and thankfully, we're going to head down the tunnel and heal up. It actually worked out for us with that supernova he did there. So, let's quickly reload everything up. He may be close to being stunned again, too, so we might try using the Wyvern's Heart. Yeah, let's load that in then. Have that early and ready to go. Runa's not doing too bad, but let's see if we can get her over with us. Try to get that Vigor Wasp to help her out. There we go. And now we're back into a more open field to fight in. And actually, this is one of my longest Teostra fights, but it is going to show you just how much damage the Elder Dragons can take. So, let's head out here. There it is. Just a Thunderbug. I don't think there are any real flash bugs around that we could make the flash pods with. Well, that's what they are. That's right, because you don't... Oh, there we go. Staggered it. And not quite able to knock it out, but with it on the ground, can launch a few clusters. Yeah, that pissed it off pretty good. Yeah, shouldn't have tried for that shot. I had a feeling that shot would be one that wouldn't work. I am surprised how much Blast Blight you do get even through your guard. Oh. Probably should have just tried guarding that. Oh, that's okay. We'll get back in, try to get our bearings again, see what we got in the supply box. We can stock up on more normal 2 and more piercing. And what I'll probably do is, let's see, I don't really have... Oh, I do have a well-done steak, so I'll do that. Always try to have the highest amount of health possible when going after new monsters. That way you just have more room to learn their techniques. Oh, I do have flash pods as well, so we'll put those on. And we can see that the Teostra is actually not doing too hot. You can tell by the little heartbeat there underneath the icon in the bottom left that that's slowed down quite a ways. So, I think we're all good with that stuff there. Just need to head up and try dealing the last few blows. Because he'll probably start limping off soon enough if we can get the normal 3 shots and the pierces on him. And I'm guessing a few more shots to that head and that'll probably break off those horns. Yeah, here he probably comes. You can see him just on the other side of the hill there. Yeah, there he is. Okay, jeez, even just that little paw attack inflicts it. But even with us fainting, we actually got our little gut skill back, so we'll have that. As long as we keep over the threshold, anything that takes us below it. I think what I want to do is wait until he does his hypernova or leaves to another area. We'll try flashing him. Oh, speak of. Yeah, we'll go for Pierce now. really gotta try getting in at that head, because everything else aside from the head will not do damage to him. You guys can see, it's 0 everywhere else on the bottom. That was one of the problems with being a gunner against the Elder Dragons. Because both Teostra and Kushala have that sort of armoring to them. It makes them really annoying to try gunning. It's probably something I'd recommend getting... Okay, we'll take that hit. Getting something that does deal a lot of impact damage in one spot. Like Pierces, unfortunately, are not going to really cut it because they don't do that initial heavy impact you need on its head. The tail's a little vulnerable. Let's get out of there. Oh, I thought that would have gotten him. Must have been down on the slope a bit. And we'll load up the Wyvern Heart again. Play into that face of his. Oh yeah, there's the horns broken, so we know he's down below that threshold. He'll probably going to rest up pretty soon, too. Yeah, there's his limp. So we'll get a few more shots in because his armoring isn't on right now. And load everything up again. Get ourselves nice and ready. You could probably try triggering the quicksand patch on him. I don't know how well it actually works, though. My advice, though, if you do go after Teostra, look for something with high mobility. Like, Sword and Shield would probably be a very good choice, because you have the block options, but you're also able to be very mobile. Make sure you get the earplugs, because as you've seen with how often he roars, if I didn't have the earplugs each time he roared, I'd probably be giving him a free hit on me. But we'll let him go down. I think we will use a couple of barrel bombs just to take him out. If you are having trouble with monster, don't be afraid or worried about using something like bombs or flash grenades or flash pods or whatever you need to help you take them down. Monster Hunter is all about the back and forth between you and the monster and learning the hunt. So if you do have little issues here or there, don't worry whatsoever about having to do a little bit different or using a few different tactics to try to get the job done. And first one, we just shoot off. There we go. And we'll use a few shots right down the middle there. He is a little bit out of critical distance for the initials, but the other ones I think are getting him. There's another roar. Really only that front of his head that we're going to be able to get damage off. I mean, we can get some good damage once we are able to hit it, but... There we go. So one of my longer hunts, I didn't actually expect to take that long, but I forgot how... Yeah, it took 27 minutes to take down Teostra like that. I admit, if you're a much better heavy bow gunner or gunner, you'll probably far exceed that time. We'll just get what cars we can. I think you'll get about 4 for every Elder Dragon. Yeah. Each Elder Dragon will give you 4. Let me just pull up the Hunter notes while we're waiting here. And Teostra. Definitely bring a water or an ice element weapon and aim mostly for the head if you're a gunner. The wings and tails you can get, but those are a little harder, because sometimes the wings feel like they also have the armor too. And again, that tail is hard to get off, but it is possible. You might just need to do something like get a part breaker, or make sure you have very clear shots at the tail, because sometimes, as you saw, the wingtips were catching that. So let's see what our hard, long hunt rewarded us with. Sorry. So it looks like we didn't quite get the gem, but we got a lot of stuff from it. Teostra parts and bits, armor stone, Nova crystal, Elder Dragon blood, a few of the ores and that. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get the gem, but I might have a few gold tickets saved up anyway. So I'm not sure if I'll actually upgrade it for you or not. Actually, no, that'd be kind of bad. After you guys sitting this long, yeah, I'll go use one of my tickets, get a Teostra gem, and show it off to you at its full level. But that was basically a Teostra hunt, and hopefully a little guide to help you guys if you kind of encounter a wall with him. I know when I first tried him using the bow, he was annoying because of that lockup after he'd roar. He's not as bad as the previous generations were for that, though. World has thankfully stepped away and realized that it's not very fun going up against something that can completely override your input for what happens, basically. Like, there are still things like Nergigante with his tremor and roars can still get you. Especially Arc-Tempered Nergigante, but we won't get into that nightmare anytime soon. I'm hoping that's going to help you and give you a little bit of a guide of sorts as to how to work at taking on a Teostra. He's not the hardest monster, but he will throw you for a loop sometimes. Oh, let's just get one of those. There we go. Okay, and we'll take that up to the smithy, upgrade that, and I'll show you guys off what it looks like and maybe try taking you to the training grounds too. Although, this is already probably going to be a pretty long video. You know, maybe we'll just upgrade it, and if you guys do want to see it and would like to see a Heavy Bowgun showcase, we'll give it its full attention there. So, get Teostra's flames there. There we go. And we'll just go over a little bit about that. Full normal 3, full pierce 3s, the spread 1. Gets a little bit more capacity for the stickies. Cluster bombs roll the 1. 2 poisons, the flaming, the slice, the wyvern. And does 270 with its base attack once it's upgraded to max. So, thank you guys for joining me on this hunt. Like I say, I'm sorry for how long it did take. It just goes to show you, even I still have a lot to improve on with how many hours I've got in the game. But if you did like this video or any other content I put out, maybe think about leaving me a like or a comment to let me know. And even if you want to support us, we are trying to build up our channel more, so subscriptions are always welcome. I'm sorry for rambling and ranting this long, but I'll see you all in the next video. Please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.